Hi everyone, I am Joheb Lama. I study at the British College and I am in level 4, second semester, section D. This is demo video for the OOP final assessment total graphics. In this video, I will be demonstrating my total graphics project built in Java using LBUGraphics library. This video will walk through all the required features step by step, including setup commands, validation, file saving and loading, and advanced drawing commands. First of all, I understand that I must answer the question truthfully as they will be checked against the demo, and failure to answer truthfully may be considered as plagiarism. So yes, so let's begin with requirement one basic application. LBUGraphics.jar properly added the project show in my project. So here in my project you can see that on the external libraries that I properly added LBUGraphics.jar. So let's take this. Project contains MainClass.java setup LB graphic correctly by using the LB graphics, or you have moved on and done this in photographic.java and you have made an object of this in MainClass.java. So in this in a project. So here in a project, as you can see that I have created a class called pTurtleGraphics which extends to LB graphics. And in my main class that I have created an object for pTurtleGraphics here. So here's call the LB graphics award method and the turtle animation is displayed so your code and then so it's running. So here in my code you can see that I call the about method which triggers the built-in turtle animation from LBO graphics, and here is it how it works. So as you can see it's working perfectly fine. So let me comment this first. So yes, uh, yes, main class.java has a main method with which creates an object of total graphics.java, and then all further processing is done in this object. So all of this in your project. So as you can see in my main class that I created an object called total graphics, and in my total graphics class, you can as you can see I have all my codes are here till the end. Yes, so I guess we can take this. The award method is called the OB animation appears when the user types about into the text field or clicks OK button. So in your code and show the total animation in response to typing about. So here in my code, I have connected the about command into the input field. When I type about and press enter or click OK, the animation should run perfectly fine. So let's take this. So here, if I write parts, yes, as you can see, the total starts growing, and yes, it was completely fine. So let's take this. So let's go to recommend to command support. Pendown command working, you will see if you work in a moment. So in your code. So here you can see the pendown command is here. So when the user commands pendown, the my program activates draw on, which enables the turtle to draw. So and it also displays the message pen is in use. So yes, let's take this as move command works. You can take this if it works without or with a parameter, show your code and then show the total moving response to typing move. You can also input a parameter take and move on to the next question. So my move method is called right over here. So this checks if the user has input two parameters with the move command. So the move itself and the distance of units the turtle needs to move. The step forward takes the boundaries, checks if the turtle is still in the boundaries, and the check position checks the position of the turtle. So let's try to run this here. So So let's go for the pin down. As you can see, the it says now pin is in use. So let's try to move the total. Move 100. Let's do it without move. So if I give the command move without a parameter, it shows missing parameter. So let's try again. Move 100. So as you can see, the total move 100 units to the direction it's facing. So I guess this is success. Move command moves with a parameter and can be moved by the total by the amount type. So in your code, then so the total moving by 100. I just showed you this, so let's take this. The reverse command works. You can take this if it works without or with the parameter. Show your code and show the total moving in response to the user type in reverse. The total must be pointing at the same direction it was before the command was issued. At the end, again, take and move to the next question if you can input a parameter. So here in my code, you can see the reverse case. It's similar to move case, but the only difference is the I have included a negative integer here, so the total can move negative direction to the forward or move direction which is backward or reverse. So let's run this over here. Reverse command work. So let's write reverse. First of all, reverse without a parameter. So it wants about the missing parameter. So let's try it again. Reverse 100. So as you can see, the total move backwards or reversed or 100 units, and it's pointing the same direction as it was before the command was in use. Okay, reverse command works with the parameter. So I just test this. Left command works. You can take this if it works or works without or with the parameters. So your code then tick and move to the next question if you can input a parameter. So here in my code, the left function, the left case it's here. So it's similar to the other methods. If left command is called, the program first of all takes if it has two parameters, the command itself and the parameter to how much of degrees the total need to run. So let's let's try it first of all without a parameter left. So it says missing parameters, but if it's left 90, the total turns to its left direction 90 degrees. So I guess this is success. Left command works with a parameter and can be rotated by the total dominant. So in your code, and so the total moving by typing left 90 and move 100. So just now I typed total left 90, so it's facing 90 degree to its left, and the next command is move 100. So as you can see, it's a success. So let's take this. Right command works. You can take this if it works without or with a parameter. So your code take and move to the next question if you can input a parameter. So here in my code, as you can see, the right command is also here. The right command also takes the parameter. If the input has two parameters, the left command itself and the direction and the degrees is returned. So let's run this. First of all, without a parameter, RGST. So it's just missing parameter. So let's write 90. So as you can see, the total has turned 90 degrees to its right. So I guess it's a success. The right command works with the parameter and can be rotated by the total, the amount type. So in your code, then show the total moving in turn right 90 degree and then move 100. So just now my total turn right. So the next is move 100. So as you can see, the total moved right and forward 100. So it's a success. So you can take this. Penup command working type penup and then write in 90 and move on forward. If all the it is working, the parameter is and step with the total on the bottom left and pointing. left. Okay. So here in my code, let's let's see the penup command first. So yeah, the penup command is here. So when the user calls the penup command, first of all, it processes off, which basically means the pen is not in use anymore, and it also displays the message pen is not in use. So let's go here. If I say pen up, it says pen is not in use. So the next one is write 90, move 100. Write 90, move 100. As you can see, at the end shape is can be seen, and the total is on the bottom left, pointing left side. So it's a success. And with four color comments such as red comment working, so it working by typing pen down, then red, then move 100. The total should move further to the left, for the left and the straight line. So all four of the colors show in your code. So let's go to the code first. Here in my code, as you can see, I've chosen these four colors: red, green, yellow, and white. So when the user comments the color, the setPin color function changes the pin of the color as in red, green, yellow, and white, and it displays a message telling the user which color is in use currently. So let's click this in here. So let's do pin down first. So let's do red and move 100. So as you can see, the red color is in use, and the next one was green. This is the green color is in use. So let's move 100 again. So as you can see, the green color has been drawn, and the next color was yellow. So it says yellow color is in use. So I say move 100 again. It was yellow color, and the last one was um, white. It says the white color is in use. So let's try again. Move 100. As you can see, the white color has been drawn. So it's a yes. Clear command working, so in your code, then show it clearing the display. The total should be on the far left of the clear display. Okay, so here in my code, the clear command is right over here. This command clears command wipes the drawing but doesn't reset the total position. And these are for the further warnings and everything. So let's do this in the dialog itself. Clear. No. So here, as you can see, the comment cleared the board and the total is in the far left upper corner. So it's a yes. Reset comment working, type right, then move 100. So a line is done, then type reset. The total should return to the center of the page. So in your code. So here in my code, the reset command is right over here, and I, I think yes, it's here. Here, when the reset command is called, the program resets the total to the position of the screen to the original position of the screen, and the draw command is called. So function is called, so the total doesn't leave any traces behind, and the print sound is false. So the total doesn't draw after the reset function, reset command. So let's try this in the code. So here, let's type uh, write 90 and move 100. As you can see, the total has drawn a line here, and I will give it and the reset command. So the total moves to the initial position and doesn't leave any trace behind. So it's a yes. So let's go to recommended validating commands. We put reports invalid comment type XXX and so it should report that it is an invalid comment. show it in your code and show it deleting an invalid comment. So here in my code, so let's say this is the comment is this is command for everything in my code. So when the user inputs a comment that's not in any of this, it's should show invalid comment right about uh, on here invalid comment. Yes. So here in the code, let's type XXX. So yes, it's working perfectly. Detects valid comment with missing parameter, type move with no parameter. It's would report that there is a missing parameter showing your code and then so it's missing a digit. So let's go to my code first. So move command. Mm, So when the user inputs a move command, first of all, it checks if the command has two parameters, the command, the move itself, and the parameter that's the distance the turtle needs to move. If this is not true, the the dialog box shows a message called missing parameter. So let's try this. If I say move without a parameter, so it's gonna say missing parameter, so it works perfectly fine. If it's non-numeric parameter type move XXX with a non-numeric parameter, it should return a missing parameter to user, show it in your code and showing how it in your code handle. So for this, I have two 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 comments that basically does the same thing. So here, instead of move, I have put in the forward command here. So this function, if the parameter is a non-numeric, it says invalid numeric parameter, invalid comment numeric parameter expected. So let's try this. Let's say first of all try with move xxx invalid number format. So I guess it works in here too. I don't know. So let's ignore this for right now, and let's say for word 100. No. For word xxx. So it's an invalid comment, numeric parameter expected. So this forward comment and move comment basically does the same, but yes, and it shows the missing parameter to the user warning. So it's expected. Bounce parameter, for example, you could show that you can move the total off screen or make it wrap in the other side or show in code. So uh, for this I have a new we call say forward. So let me check it for this. Yeah, so this is it. The say forward function helps to keep the total within the boundary. So let's take this. So let's move forward 200. So technically the total should have moved out of the boundaries, but as you can see, the say forward function helps to keep the total inside the boundary. So let's take this. So let's go to requirement for saving and loading. Save command work to save an image or something with the comments. So in your code, draw something and save it. Open up the image in a paint package. So here in my code, you can see the save image method here. So when the user calls the save image method, first of all, this code calls the method buffered image to get the current drawing as a buffered image and a JFile chooser. So it has the user to pick where to save the image. The choose save the choose. So this line of code opens up the dialog box and checks if the user has clicked save. The file equals to chooser gets selected file helps to get the file path to the user the user has selected, and the image I write function call makes helps to write the image as an PNG to the selected file. The J option pen are the these two are called when after the user has selected either to save the image or if there are errors saving the image, displaying a box saying image saved or error saving image. So let's try and run this. So let's go to main and run. If I say triangle, triangle 100, it draws a triangle, and let's say triangle 150, it draws under triangle. So let's save this, save, save image. So as you can see, dialog is open, so the user can choose where to save it. So let's save this in pTurtleGraphics. Let's name it DOUBLE triangle dot png. The triangle dot png. Let's save it. So here we can see it said image saved. So let's go to open and pTurtleGraphics. So here you can see the image is properly saved. So let's try and open this in Paint. So if we open this in Paint, yes, we can see it's working properly. And if we can also edit here like this or some like this, so it's working perfectly. So let's build this. Load command works, clear the screen and open up your image on the total display. So in your code, draw something and save it, clear the screen and open up your image on total display. So here in my code, the load command is right over here. So similar to save image, the load image first of all checks if there are any unsafe changes to the image, and the in choice prompts the user to save the changes if they haven't already saved it. So if choice because yes, image saved. If user clicks yes, current image is saved with this line. The file chooser opens the file chooser to select an image to load. And if and this line of codes reads the selected file, loads it into program using set buffered image and refreshes the GUI using repaint. And lastly, the exception catch exception E helps to catch any errors. So let's try this. Stop and reload. Let's do this time as SQS square 100 and square 150. And let's just save your image, save image, and let's go and save it to the double SU DOUBLE. Let's save this. Okay. and let's clear it, and let's try to rerun it again. Wait, okay, so let's rerun this. Load comments. No. So photograph, it's the double square. Okay, let's open it. Invalid comment PNG. My bad. Uh, load load image double square. So as you can see, the image is loaded. So let's take this. Save all comments previously typed as a text file. So you in your code draw something and save all comments. So the comments in text editor. So here in my code, you can see that I have put the load save comments right here. A save comment, the JFile chooser, as you can see, the JFile chooser opens a file chooser with the title save comments, and each chooser so dot should save dialog. This code helps to choose a file to save comments in that location. The buffer writer writes a text to a file for, and the for string analyzes comment history and writes a comment as a new line. And as always, the J option pane so confirmation if it was a successful or an error if it fails. So let's try this. So if I draw a pen down, move 100, I write 90, Y, or triangle into my bed, triangle 100, and XQ square 100. So let's save the comment for this. Let's save comments. So as you can see, it has opened a dialog for the user to save it. So let's name this mix.txt. So the comments are saved. So let's look in. So here you can see all the comments that I have written, and it works perfectly. So let's take this, save all the comments, load the text file of comments and execute them. When the comments saved in the previous section, so in your code, draw something and save the comments, clear the image, run the save comments. So the image is recreated from the comments. The comments should be displayed either in text field or in the console. You may want to use a Java text area / Java area so the user can see all the comments, but you can save those that have passed through the text field, or you can equal them to the console. So let's go to the code first. So here in my code, you can see the load comments method here. So similar to save comments, the if image save function helps if there are any unsafe. It checks if there are any unsafe changes from the user to save. The JFile chooser opens a dialog box for the user to choose a file of comments. If chooser and this line of code helps the user to select a file, prepares to read it line by line, and the string builder, no, not string builder, yes, the string builder reads each line from the file, processes it with process command, and stores for the later display. The the leader the reader the close file and it closes the file, and the JText area prepares a non-editable text and shows all comment. This scroll wraps all the text area in a small scroll pane with fixed sizes. The J option is pa- panel. The J option panel displays all comments that were executed and loaded, or if something fails, shows in the error loading dialog. So here, as you can see that I have previously drawn this and saved it as a mix. So let's clear this and try to rerun it again. So let's clear this. Oh, my bad. Clear. Uh, we- wait and clear the image. No. So, let's draw this. Let's draw something else this time. Let's first draw a star and let's do right 180 WID 10 WID 10 with 5. Let's do this time green, pen down, move 45. Okay, my bad. Move 100. So as you can see, I have done this. So let's first of all save comments. Let's here comment. Let's save this in photographic and name it rand.txt. So it's a comment save. So as you can see, the comments are saved in the WAN here, and let's try to rerun this in the code. So here we can do this, and we can just say load comment, and let's go to new photographics WAN.txt. So as you can see, the comments are executed properly, and it has shown the image in the console or text field over right here. So okay, so let's this is a warning is displayed somewhere in console or dialog box if the current image is not saved and display is not affected until the user answers. So this in the code. So here in my code, you can see the clear function right over here. The override method clears the overrides this method overrides a clear method from a super class to add the warning dialog box. So it takes first of all if user has drawn and then takes this is for the user has drawn image is not saved or and saved warnings are not ignored, and this method this code also prompts the user to save on save work before cleaning. And let's go here. This line of code prompts the user to save the on no saves the image if the user selects yes. If no, it does not save image but prints a warning. So here the super class clear super dot clear class parent class the calls the parent class called clear to actually clear the image. So let's run this. So wait. Uh, Warning is displayed somewhere in console. It's a dialog box. So if I say clear. A dialog box with no. So it says the image is not saved. So let's take this. A warning display is displayed using a GUI box if the current image is not saved. The warning and the display is not available until the user answers. So it may go draw something and then so as you can see it's all here the same thing for the code line. So let's try and run this here. So if say clear, it does it does prompts the user to save or ask the user if they want to save and because they haven't saved. So let's take this and yeah. So let's go to recommend 5. Override the about method so that it still does the same dance but opens a message that contains your name so in your code and so the new about method working. So here in my code, mm, I have overwritten the about method with yes override about method with super about. So basically what it does is uh, the about method as previously shown draws the OOP graphics one and the name if we call the name the totals was the name Joheb and for this I have given it a method called draw name. It's supposed to be yeah, yeah draw name. So this function makes the total to give in different position with the set here and this is the total to create this since this within the different letters and it's everything repeated. So and for the name, yeah, I have done it line by line. So let's try and run this here. Uh, so while the turtle still does the same OOP dance when the about function is called, let's clear. Okay, let's clear this first. Uh, no. So when I call the name function, the turtle draws my name. Yeah, so the turtle has this is my name, written my name Joheb. It's not the most perfect, but it's still workable. So let's take this. Implement a square length comment. The turtle should wander around the edge of the square and return to its original position. So it's working. So in your code, how you did this. So for the square comment, I I let's do this. The square comment is here, and like everything, the square comment checks if the comment has two parameters: the square itself and the length of the defense unit or something. And for the square, I use the formula for square. So let's try and run this. Let's do like this first. And so if I write square without a parameter, it should warn me. So it says size okay. So if I say square 100, the total should draw me a perfect square. So let's do square 200. So as you can see, the total draws the square perfectly. So let's take this. The red pin recommend that takes three parameters, one for red, one for green, and one for blue. Table X are basically this should be a subject to full error checking, but it is enough to report only the parameters are invalid, not necessarily which parameters. So in your code, show the new pen command working with three different colors. So in my code for the pen color, I have mm, so this is the pen color function or command. So I've entered red, green, and blue for the function, and the maximum value for red, green, or blue RGB is or anything is 255. The if the input command parameter if it's the value of 255, it displays this message. And yes, let's try it running. So let's go pen down first. Pen color. So if I say pen color with a parameter, so the method called pen color expects RGB values. So let's do it. So let's say pen color 100 uh, 1 and 255. It's a tutorial is now using a RGB color. So let's say move 100. So it just that is similar to purple color. And let's do it again. Alright, 90. Um, pen color 1, 45, and 30. I believe it should do something light or something. Move 100. So yeah, it's around dark green color. And let's do it again. Pen color uh let's do it 255, 255, 255, and move 100. It shows white color. So it is perfectly working. A penwidth comment that alters the penwidth for all the further doing operations. So in a code, then show the new command working. So here in my code, the penwidth command is right here. As as everything, it takes the parameter, and if the if it is bigger or equals to 0, then the comment follows, and the weight is change with the parameter of the user given by the user. So let's show this in the variable fields and with uh 100 pin with 50. Let's say move 100. Then you can see the width of the pin has increased drastically. Let's do like 90, and let's do again pin the width towards 15, and let's do mm, more 100. Let's do not 100, um, 200. So as you can see, the size is different according to the width of the pen. So let's take this. A triangle size comment that draws an equilateral triangle. So in your code, the new triangle comment on you don't have to have the turtle move over the triangle that would reward additional life. So, here my code for the triangle and for the boxes. Uh, So I have used the formula of triangle right inside the command case. So let's try and run it. So let's restate it or do it, you know. So let's do from 100. As you can see, the total has found a perfect triangle. So if I do try and draw 200, it creates a bigger triangle. So yes, it's working. A further triangle command which specific which specifically said that draws any triangle hint that polygons triangle side one put this so it working and so in the code how do you output with this. So in my code right here you can see right here. So so for the triangle with three different sides I have created I have used the formula with the law of cosine. First of all, this command, this method validates if A, B, and C can form a triangle using the triangle inequality rule, and it shows error of invalid triangle if the sides are way too apart. And here you can see I'm using cos A, cos B, angle C for the side, and angles for which the triangle of different user input sizes can form a triangle or not. And yes, that's all. I guess let's try and run this. Okay, so if I say pendown price 100, 150, and 90, it should come at angle of a different variety. So let's try this again. Triangle. Let's do this time 200 and 150. It will draw me a different triangle, so it works perfectly fine. I think that are not specified on the marking system, anything else you want to add. So for this, I have added a star. So when I call the command star, it draws a star, and unfortunately, it only draws a single size of star. So let's run this. Stop and run. So it has a star. It draws me a star, and that's it. So mm, I've shown this form in demo. I put my name and I have extended my code in this demo. I will submit this form now, upload my YouTube demo and come back and edit my form to paste in the YouTube link below. Okay, so I guess that's all. Thank you for watching. This demo has taught me a lot, so yeah, I appreciate it.